Okay, so we're going to talk about The Great Gatsby. Fun, right? Okay. Personally, I did not understand this book. I read it, or do, like you're supposed to. And just the entire story did not make sense to me. Holes. I want to pick all of the plot holes and just like poke them and destroy them because there's so many. And just so many things that don't make sense. Like, okay, why? What is Gatsby's point in trying to like seduce Daisy? Why did he go back out into the rain? Let's see. Why is Daisy like Daisy? Why is she? What happened to her ex-husband? Didn't he? I think he got murdered. Wasn't very clear. Like, it just did not make sense. Anyway, so before I get too distracted in everything, I'm gonna pull up some discussion questions. About the Great Gatsby. I found the website earlier, and I'm using it because it is a good one. There's a lot of them. This is not it. This will work. Okay, this one I really want to talk about. So it talks about, is Nick Carraway necessary? Like, if we got the story through a third person omniscient narrator, what would we gain? And I feel like this is a really important question that I want to bring up because I don't see the point of Nick Carraway. Like, okay, so I understand Nick Carraway coming into the story, meeting Mr. Gatsby, and being Mr. Gatsby's connection to Daisy. That I get. It's totally cool. I'm good with that. What I don't get is why, after that tea party thing, why Mr. Gatsby still needed Nick. Why Nick was still involved in this entire thing. Like, why? Why? There's no point. None. I don't see it, at least. Story-wise, of course. As far as the actual narration goes, there is some, like, differences and things that should be included. Like, if there wasn't a Nick character, if it wasn't told from Nick's point of view, then we could possibly gain some more insight into Tom's omniscient stuff, like what Tom's thinking. What is he thinking? What is he thinking when Gatsby is telling Daisy to tell Tom, oh, hey, I've never loved you? Why is it important for, like, but then also we gain this, it's a third person point of view in the story, but he's also removed from the story, so he's still a person though. So we are still getting personal opinions from him. We are still getting things like, I think, do we really know that Gatsby is truly looking at things with a different meaning based off of how Daisy looks at them? Or is that just what Nick Carraway is perceiving, and therefore that's what we perceive? See, I mean, it opens things up for a whole lot of holes, a whole lot of discussions. Let's see, what was some of the others that it had? Advertisement. Aren't you great? There's no mention of religion till the very end, when Myrtle's husband claimed that he told his wife that she couldn't fool God. Why is this the first mention of God? How does the surprise? No, I don't like that one. Isn't that moment totally confusing? Yes, all moments are totally confusing. Is Gatsby great? In what way? How might he not be great? I like this question. I like this question a lot. Is Gatsby great? No. In my firm opinion, no. Gatsby isn't great. Gatsby is a strange character who's entirely out of the box and entirely insane. Happens to have some weird hobbies and one really persistent obsession. Everything he does is based off of one obsession and one motive, and that's a very personal, self-gaining motive. It's not a meaningful motive at all. Like, I feel like to be great, somebody has to have a motive and a reason for doing what they do other than personal gain. And of course, some people are going to argue, oh, everything's for personal gain. Like, everything, all of it, ever, right? Everything you ever do is for personal gain. It's what some people argue. But I feel like for somebody to be great, Gatsby is not great because his entire motive is totally personal gain. All he wants is Daisy to be his for money because Daisy's rich. But the point, but like that's not for somebody to be great, their motive, what they're doing it for, should be a good cause, should be something worthy, something like something like for the good of others. Now, granted, there are some other things in there, like some people say, oh, you just do charity work because you get a reward at the end. And you just do charity work for that good feeling you get. Okay, cool, whatever. But still, at the end of the day, they're doing it for somebody else. Gatsby only ever does stuff for his end game. He made his house, he did all of these things only for his end game. And his end game was getting Daisy. And it didn't work. But that's a different story. He just conflicting. Gatsby is not okay. And I think that's totally evident when it's like who appears to his funeral. And it's like, okay, his dad showed up. That makes sense. But like, I don't know. It's just different, and it's not okay. Let's find that. Okay, so Gatsby's father. I'm sorry, I love his father. Father's great. Like, and I don't know. I just don't like him. I don't like Gatsby. Shoot me. I don't care. I don't like Gatsby. Okay, let's look at some more questions because I know there's more, and I don't know if I have enough like info. Who really was driving? Okay, take a look at Nick's opening lines. Okay, I like this idea. Let's look at this. So it says, look at Nick's opening lines. So it says, in my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you have had. It's a cool quote, but it doesn't change my opinion of the story. Okay, James Gatt hasn't had all of the advantages that I have had. cool. He is still strange, he is still psychopathic, and not okay. He is totally obsessed, and just because he didn't have the advantages or whatever you want to call them that I've had does not change that. And also, okay, I've said it a lot. I don't like Gatsby, but I want to make this clear. I don't like the book, and it's not just because I don't like the characters. Don't get me wrong. Daisy's cool. I don't get her, but she's cool. Nick is awesome. Don't get his point, but he's awesome. Personalities are great, stuff like that. Like, I'm cool with the characters. What I'm not cool with, though, is the way that the story unfolded. Like, listen to me break down the story and see if maybe you understand this now. Okay. So, back like 5 years from the present, this guy meets this girl, and they like fall in love, like hardcore in love. But then the girl moves away. The girl remarries, has a kid. Kid's father dies, gets remarried, goes on living a happy life. The guy, however, spends the next 5 years totally obsessing over this chick, getting all the money he can, getting all of the stuff he can just to get this chick. And so then, finally, at one of these big party he throws trying to get this chick's attention, he meets this guy, and this guy is going to be his connection to her. Now, and they finally meet up, and they're like, ooh, old love, and all that fun stuff. But here's the kicker. So the one chick has a husband, right? Well, her husband has a mistress, and she knows it. He knows it. Pretty sure Gatsby knows it. Gatsby wants, the guy wants this chick to tell her husband that she never loved him. Never. He wants her to say that she has only ever loved him. Ever. Okay, that's insane. So then they're at this meeting, they're having this conversation, and then they leave. And the guy is leaving with the girl, and the husband and this other guy and this other chick are in a different car. Okay, so the guy and the girl end up running over the husband's girlfriend. Right? Yeah. So guy's girlfriend is dead. Guy's girlfriend has a husband. So much cheating going on. The guy's girlfriend has a cousin, or has a husband. Husband's like, oh my god, my wife is dead. My wife is dead. Great, right? So he saw the car. He knows who car it is. He knows it's the guy's car. So he goes after this guy. This guy is patiently waiting at home, waiting for the chick to call him and tell him that he loves her. She loves him. Whatever. The guy comes in, he kills. Okay, so the husband. Oh, it's like a chain here. So the chick's husband's wife's husband, or no, chick's husband's girlfriend husband, kills the guy. Right? Yeah. Fun. Totally awesome. Right? They both die. What? Wait, what? They both just died? Like, why? Like, okay, I know one's a revenge killing, but this chick just, like, ran out into the street and got ran over, and it just happened to be, like, something's not adding up here. Something in the story does not make sense. I can't figure it out. And that is why I do not like The Great Gatsby. I just don't. Sorry.